last night.
Yes.
Or is last night still this morning? Have you slept?
No.
You haven't slept?
I have not.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you manage doing it all?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just when you're in it, and you just do it.
Well, okay, let's talk about last night's looks.
Yeah.
Zendaya had 2 on the red carpet, and then a third inside, a secret little third one. But let's talk about the red carpet.
Yeah.
Yes. How did you come up with these looks? Because they were spectacular.
Thank you. Well, the story behind all of them, I mean, both of those are, I was so inspired looking from the outside into this big, fantastic world of fashion, and John Galliano and what he did at Christian Dior in the late 90s and early 2000s was
brilliant. Really.
Absolutely genius. Yeah. And so it's always been a constant inspiration for me in my work. And when he said yes to make the dress, what we wanted to do is just pay homage to his work, past and present.
Right.
Yeah.
So the first look was from the Margiela collection by Galliano.
Correct. Which is
inspired by his original Dior one.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Love
did your
that.
research.
I did my research, but I've been a Galliano fan for a very long time. Then we see you come back down at almost the end of the night, which is spectacular.
It was the end of the night. We closed the carpet. Yeah.
And I see you're in a new look, and I'm like, what is going on here? Who is Law waiting for? And then out comes Zendaya
again.
In the second look.
Which was John Galliano for Givenchy.
Right, so now that was a vintage piece.
Yes, it was.
And did you find that at Lillian C?
I did. I did, yes I did. With Rita and Michael. And it was such an incredible experience to go. They're such historians.
Right.
And I took Zendaya, I found the dress haphazardly, and took Zendaya to show it to her, and we tried it on and fell in love with it, and she bought it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And she bought it.
Oh, we buy. Yes.
Wow. That's almost unheard of.
Yeah, but not for us. You know, because how we look at it is that we're really supporting small businesses.
Right.
And I think it's unfair to borrow things from people who use those clothes as their livelihood.
Right.
Yeah.
So how far in advance did you pick these gowns for the Met Gala?
Oh, no, the first one was not in advance at all. John was on vacation when we asked. I couldn't really get in contact with him, so I called, just one of my closest friends, Anna Wintour, and she gave John a call, and he said yes to making the dress. But he was still on vacation, so literally I said that I hadn't seen the dress on Friday, and I hadn't seen the dress, but
on Friday before the Met Gala, you still hadn't seen it.
I hadn't seen the dress,
wow.
But when you're working with someone who's so talented and such a genius and such a master, you kind of can go into situations, and be confident that it'll be perfect.
Okay, so when did you all do the first fitting? Saturday.
Yeah.
And it probably fit like a glove for the most part, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, everything was there. But again, he's such an artist, so there were a lot of tweaks and little things that he saw differently, and he had this beautiful story that he told us about who the girl was that was wearing the dress, and Zendaya being the incredible ingenue she became that girl, and it was just absolutely perfect and magical and a dream come true for both of us.
She became that girl because also hair and makeup played into it. I mean, the makeup on the first look, it was like off the runway, kind of gorgeous.
It was,
and she posed like a supermodel. But then what I found very endearing is as she was going up the steps, she would giggle and she would laugh, and then that was the young Zendaya that we love in this glorious gown.
Yeah. She's really good at becoming whatever character we need to tell the story, because I think with our work we're just storytellers at the root of it all.
Right. So tell me about when you're at the top of the staircase and you need to now change Zendaya in a big old gown. How do you do that? What's the secret?
There's no secret. We again, my old beautiful friend for many years, Anna Wintour. I called in another favor and said that we would like to get ready at the Met, and I told her the story of how we wanted to pay homage to John's work, and we told the people from the Met what our idea was and why we were doing it. It wasn't supposed to be a spectacle. It was really supposed to just be an homage of his work, and and we're talking about the Costume Institute of the museum, and we're talking about Anna Wintour, one of the greatest editors of the greatest fashion magazine ever. And I think when they understood the story, they granted us permission to have a room to get ready there, do the first look, go back and change, and come back out, and then go back and do the third look. Which if you weren't there, you probably didn't see.
You didn't see it until today when it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So is it stressful for you? Do you get nervous still at this point?
No, I don't really get nervous.
Right.
I don't really get nervous because I really believe that things happen exactly when they're supposed to happen and how they're supposed to happen. So
Right.
I don't really get nervous. No.
Okay. Anything that we didn't see that happened behind the scenes that you could tell us?
No, I mean, it's just funny because she's already a tall girl, so she's 5'10", and she had on 6-inch heels, so that makes her 6'4", 6'5", and then she had another hat that was about about 6 inches.
Right.
So she was really, really tall, and we're going through these kind of tunnels of the Met, and I was just behind her, and every time I would say hat, and she'll dip, and she'll come back up, and she'll walk in, and I'm like, hat, and so,
Right.
and then she was just doing a little tune and get through the walkway, and
Right.
yeah.
Well, speaking of hats, the second hat in the second look was
Yes.
from an Alexander McQueen
Yes,
collection.
2007.
Wow.
By Philip Tracy, yeah.
I love that you combine these two looks because
Yeah.
that entire outfit, first of all, was never worn before,
Yeah.
except on the runway by Veronica Webb, the Super Monica.
Wow.
Oh, I know my fashion,
God.
yeah. But then you decided to pair it with a
Yeah.
Lee McQueen hat.
Yeah. I think the hat was perfect, and the upside down rose is actually a hat made by Philip Tracy. And so I called Philip, and I have all these important friends, darling. I called Philip, and I just asked, asked permission to wear something from the archive, and he sent me 4 hats, and he actually sent 2 from London to New York for us to try. But I thought that one was so perfect.
Right. It was perfection.
For the theme, yeah.
Were there any other looks last night that also caught your eye?
Well, I think there were a lot of great looks, but what was so special for me is Ariana Grande's performance. Because I worked with Ariana Grande for many years, and but then she also brought out Cynthia Erivo, and those voices combined, it was emotional. Everybody was on there dancing on their feet and clapping, and it's kind of hard to get people out of their seats at the Met, and it was actually spectacular. She also was wearing Galliano from Margiela. Yeah.
I know, she looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Totally fantastic. The internet is abuzz
Yeah.
about a mystery woman on the Met Gala who is in a gorgeous butterfly gown, Mona Patel, that you worked with.
Yes, I did.
Tell me about her and this gorgeous gown.
So the gown was Iris Verherpen. It was custom. I met Mona in Mumbai, and we had a connection. And she's also part of the Vogue 100. And she asked me to do it in the sweetest way. And I really love India. And how she got me is that there would be a collaboration between Iris and one of the houses that do the embellishments in India.
Right, and all by hand.
All by hand, yeah.
Craftsmanship.
And so we went back to Mumbai, and we watched them embroider the panels that Iris had made for the dress, and the mixing of those worlds and those cultures was really intriguing to me. So when she laid it that was the plan, I was like, okay, I'm in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and the butterflies on the sleeves was extraordinary.
It was Casey. I think Casey's his name, and he's just this artist that's a friend of hers.
Right.
That created these arm pieces, and it was actually lilies that were opening and closing. Yeah. And it was beautiful. It was just like jewelry almost, but living jewelry.